Hello everyone, it is D-Man number 5, and today I am reviewing X-Men 97, Episode 8, Tolerance Is Extinction. So, let's get this out of the way. I broke my hand. Well, technically I broke my pinky and the knuckle. So, I'm fine. I'm getting surgery on Tuesday, later this week, and I'm going to be fine. I'll still be making videos, so yeah. Alright, let's get to it. So Cable has now joined the team after the last episode where he saved everyone, and we see him practicing his aim in the backyard. And Jean and Scott talk about Cable's future, or how he got there, and apparently, and how he got here. So apparently, after Bishop left, and I think episode 3, uh, when he had like young Cable or Nathaniel, or or young Nathan, uh, Bishop lost him in a time dilation or yeah time dilation, and Cable ended up in a way farther future. So that sucks, especially since he was like a day old. So yeah, that's gotta suck. Later, everyone meets in the briefing room, in the war room, basically, and Cable talks about Bastion's backstory, and later we find out that Bastion is I explain this. He's a mixture of Master Mold, who makes like all the Sentinels, and uh, Nimrod, who's from it's such a stupid name. I'm sorry. Nimrod just sounds like an idiot. Uh, is from the way distant future, and he's like the ultimate Sentinel. So a piece of Nimrod from like a past story arc in the TV show mixed with a janitor, and they basically like had sex and gave birth to Bastion. And he's like the descendant of all those future and past Sentinels. Uh, and Cable goes on to talk about like how the future is like way darker. Every single future that the X-Men are involved in is always dark. And Morph makes a joke saying, "Oh, so in our future where Logan outlives all of us," and that's kind of true because Logan, Days of Future Past, and even in Days of Future Past in this show, and I thought it was funny, but like it made me wonder, how does Morph know about that? But it's funny commentary. It's funny commentary. Um, then they get into why Cable didn't stop Genosha, and Cable talks about every time I tried, the time machine just brought me back and took me away from that moment. And then Beast says something, and he says, "Strange. The mystics of Kamar-Taj have talked about moments in time that are called fixed points." Now, interesting how Beast said that. Strange, Doctor Strange. Also, Doctor Strange does exist in this universe. We've seen him twice in the old show. And also Kamar-Taj, well, that's where Doctor Strange is from. Fixed point, or um fixed points in time that cannot be changed. We have seen that in What If, and yeah, that's wow, that's crazy. That is, I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool how they incorporated that, and it like made sense because there was a What If episode called "What If Doctor Strange lost his heart," I believe, and it focuses on like this alternate version of Strange who lost Christine in a car accident, and he tried to fix it every way he can, but he couldn't. So the only way he could was by getting more powerful. And once he did save her, it destroyed his whole universe. So that's cool. Uh, that's not cool. That's sad, but it's cool how they brought that in. Uh, so after they talk about like everything, Cable, Jean, and Cyclops go looking for Bastion, and they go looking for in like his hometown. Uh, we find out later, but I was gonna say they find him, they go looking for him in his hometown, and then uh, we later see Jean, helping Rogue heal a little bit, and he goes to talk to her. Nightcrawler goes to talk to her, and they have this really nice moment together about like how Nightcrawler and Rogue could have been enemies, but they decided to just live in the moment and just be brother and sister because they are related, which is sometimes people forget about that. Like they are related. Mystique is their mom, and Sabretooth is the dad, but like Rogue's adopted, but uh Mystique and Sabretooth gave birth to Nightcrawler, and then a member of like a mutant hate organization. It's really weird. Uh, but it's a really nice moment. I love how it's done. I love how it's animated, and Gene talks about like how because Cable doesn't really accept her as his mom. He thinks that Madeline Pryor is his mom, and she's like, I share all these memories of her, and I can't tell which is mine, which are hers. But I just remember holding him for the first time. I was like, wow, it's really, really, really deep. This is a deep show. This is a really this is a show that gets really emotional. I like that. It's really dramatic, and I love it. I love it. But we don't get that much of Rogue. She's mainly knocked out most of the time. Later, we find out that Magneto's being held captive by Bastion and Mr. Sinister. And we find out Dr. Cooper is alive. If you don't remember her, she's the blonde lady who's been helping the X-Men now a while, and she was apparently not found in Genosha after like the attack happened. So she's back. Everyone thought she was evil, but she's not. Later in the episode, she does something that later in the episode she does something that's pretty cool. And she tries talking to Magneto, but he doesn't say a thing. He is stone cold silent the entire time. Uh, then we cut back to the X Mansion where Beast talks to the reporter whose name is Tibley, and they try to make up because in the last episode they had a bit of an argument about like mutants being accepted and like humans not truly accepting mutants, and it was a really interesting conversation. So it's a really interesting it's a really interesting conversation that they have, and you can tell that she really wants to like try and be friends with Beast, which is really nice. Which is really nice. But later we'll find out that it's actually kind of a bad thing that she's there. So we cut back to I'm just calling them the Summers. The Summers arriving at Bastion's hometown. Jean uses her telepathy, and she finds out this is home. And so they go inside his house where they find Bastion's mom, who is like this senile older woman who like doesn't really know who they are. Later we'll find something out. By the end of this episode, like everything just goes sideways, and I just hate hiding it for now. Um, So this old woman's like, "Oh, my son said you would be here to pick me up. Let me just get my things." And then Cable just goes, "Let's just play along with it, see what we can find." Uh, then we cut back to Bastion's lair, and we get a few cameos from some Marvel villains in this one, and he's talking to them about just about like the attack on Genosha and how this like all benefit them and everything. And we get a cameo from Doctor Doom, Baron Zemo, and I'm not even gonna mention like this like mysterious woman who's like not who you can't really tell who that is. She's been under the subtitle she's put as mysterious senator. So that's who she is. But Doctor Doom, the fact that he was involved with the Genosha attack is pretty fucking creepy. And Baron Zemo, if you don't know who Baron Zemo is, okay, let's see if I can make it current for people who watch the MCU. He was the guy from Civil War who like tried to get revenge from the Avengers, and he was in Falcon Winter Soldier. He's this meme. He's wearing his classic costume, like the the purple ski mask with the crown on it. I just love that like Doctor Doom is in this episode, and like he's just like Doom will not be affiliated with such things. I was like, huh, how did you get like you wonder like how do you get Doom involved in something like this? But I just thought it was cool. Um, Later, when he's talking to Dr. Cooper, we see that he's making human sentinels. Like they're in the final testing phases of morphing Sentinels with humans, and it's creepy. It's creepy. It kind of reminded me of the Suicide Squad, like when you saw like all the Starros just on people from like the experiments and how like gory it was and like how monstrous and tortury it was. It was just weird. Uh, oh yeah, that's right. So we go back to the Summers at Bastion's house, and then they look in his room and they see like some drawings, and we find out some stuff about him, like stuff that I've already told you, and uh, she then shows them this drawing they did, and it's very eerie. Like it's the three-headed sentinel and a bunch of our like humanoid sentinels overlooking like mutants, like dead mutants on the ground, and it's creepy. And she says he drew this when he was 5. I think it's his best work. If I ever, God forbid, I ever have a kid and I see that he draws shit like that, I'm gonna be goddamn terrified. I don't care if it's like robots and shit. I'll be goddamn terrified if I see that. I'll be like, son, let's go back and play catch. Honey, go get my shotgun. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. That's awful. But it's a fucked up image. It's a fucked up image. Then the mother in some creepy exorcist shit morphs into a sentinel, and her limbs start breaking, her eyes go yellow, and she's just like, it's so weird. And then the entire hometown, like the people who live there in the hometown, are revealed to be sentinels as well. And then the Summers just get swarmed by them. Same happens at the X Mansion with Tilby turning out to be a sentinel, and she knocks the shit out of Beast. So then we get three great like action scenes. Oh, with one chase scene, which is Alberto and Jubilee are in the mall and they get chased by sentinels. Oh no! And Jubilee's got like a new outfit. It's like an all black like maybe a jumpsuit. It looks like a skiing suit at one point. Like a yeah, like a all black spandex. It was weird. And apparently that's one of her outfits from the Wolverine and Jubilee comics. But still, like, okay. Um, so and she makes a joke while they're being chased, like everyone can fly except me, and she tries, kind of, but then Alberto catches her, and she's like, "Of course you can fly," and like, yeah, like even Cyclops can kind of fly too, if you think about it. It's funny. It's funny. So everyone's being chased by Sentinels. The house is swarmed by them, and then Wolverine finally gets his due because he's been sidelined half the season. He gets thrown into the air by robot Tilby, and then he just starts slicing and dicing at all of them, and like through the air, and then he just comes down like a fucking meteor and slams into the X Mansion. Oh, I forgot when Tilby like reveals she's a robot. Morph turns into the Juggernaut and tries to like knock her out, but she like overpowers him. I love that when Morph turns into other people, he gets their powers. I think that is so cool and so creative and doesn't downplay the character at all. Uh, and then, you know, no, you don't. And then the Summers are being attacked in the Blackbird, and then it crashes again, and they have a Porsche in there. And Cable goes, "You have a Porsche?" And they team up. It's really cool. It's this great action moment. We see them bonding in a way. Uh, and then later we come back to the X Mansion, and Rogue is about to be harmed by the Sentinels, and then Wolverine comes in, and they're like, "Why don't you just give in to the inevitable?" And he's like, "Lady, I got 6 reasons." And then Nightcrawler comes in and he stabs her with like a sword, and he goes, "Nah, no, my friend, 9," which he's German, so 9 in German means no. So he's saying, "No, my friend, no," which is it's cool. It's cool. I love Nightcrawler, and they have this great action scene where they're back to back and they're fighting, and he's bamfing between everything. He's teleporting, and then this really cool shot that I'm so oh my god, I want on a poster. Wolverine stabs a robot, and then Nightcrawler stabs him from behind, and he teleports them, and Wolverine's like still attached, and like the camera gets all distorted. It's almost like this, and like we go through the Brimstone dimension, which is where like Nightcrawler teleports in and out of for like a split second. It's so cool how they do that. And then we find out that Dr. Cooper let Magneto escape, and what he does, he demagnetizes everything. And right before he does that, Dr. Cooper says something about like deja vu and how like no one really like the attack on Genosha was big, but like no one seemed to really care. And she just says Magneto is right, and then he just goes enough. He demagnetizes everything, and this is where, if you haven't seen it already, is broken the internet. We see another cameo. It is Spider-Man. Not just any Spider-Man. This is the 90s Christopher Daniel Barnes Spider-Man that ran for 5 seasons and is connected with the X-Men and is considered one of the best Spider-Man, right up there with Spectacular. It is amazing to have him back. He doesn't say anything, but it's just awesome to see him, and I lost my shit when it happened. Then we see Silver Samurai, and then we cut to like an atomic power plant where these scientists get really nervous when the power goes out because they're holding Omega Red, and Omega Red is an enemy of Wolverine. He's got like these tentacles that can like come out of his hand, and he's a pretty bad dude. And he's Russian. He's crazy. Then Jubilee and Alberto try to hide at his house, but his mom turns him in. And it's so sad. It's so sad. But right after that, Wolverine says, he did it. Magneto declared war. Where's the professor when you need him? Split second. He comes right in and he's like, I hope I'm not too late. To me, my X-Men. And he calls everyone. So cool. It's so cool. All right. So what did I think of the episode? Solid. The action is great. The animation is chef's kiss. Story is good. You know, I think it's a 3-parter or 2-parter. I'm looking forward to it. Cameos are insane. I love that Spider-Man is here. Oh my god! I thought he was gonna come back. I thought he was gonna say a line like, "Oh, that looks like Magneto's doing. Better go swing by and see how my friends the X-Men are doing." If a boy can dream, a boy can dream. But overall, love the episode. Can't wait for the next one this week. I'm sorry that these reviews take a little bit to get out. I'm pretty busy and occupied with some other things, clearly. But this week, I will try to release the next review on Thursday, right after the episode comes out. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I had a blast with this episode. I can't wait for the next one. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll see you all in the next one. See ya.